There we go. What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolf Brother Mythos Cushionado from the channel Frost and Fist, and this amazing guy.
What's going on, guys? Freak here from the channel Frost and Fist, and welcome to the show.
Kind of. I mean, we're not doing a full-fledged show.
We're just testing something out.
We are testing. Rick hooked me up with a computer of my very own to do some video editing and stuff like that on. So now I can contribute more digitally to the channel. I can do a lot of my own editing and stuff like that. So it's going to give us another platform to be able to do some of this. Plus, when we do our live streaming on the weekends.
Oh, already. Hey, James.
So what up, brother?
Just so happened to run into us.
That's awesome. And so when we do streams like this, you know, I'll be able to better keep up in the comments and stuff like that, because I'll actually have a device here that I can read and type on and stuff like that.
Yeah, we got 3 guys on there, 3 people on there. Wow, 2 people. Bye, whoever you were. Bye, sorry.
I was telling Freak that one of my favorite features of this new computer is that while I was using my phone to stream before, it had a lot of glare. It was pretty good quality, I felt like, but it had a lot of glare. But it helps. This new camera can see my Mia calendar way better. Mamma mia, mamma mia. Guys, give me a like for the Mia calendar here. My favorite cosplayer, by the way. Her and Yaya Han, of course.
Yeah, we're just actually just testing some things out. We were, hey, Running Bear.
Running Bear. Brother Tim, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm just looking through some things. Yeah, we were planning to do a stream. But,
we were planning to do a stream tonight. We were planning to do a game tonight. Unfortunately, I ended up working till almost 8 o'clock and pretty stressed out at the time. I was definitely not ready to film or broadcast or be on a live stream afterwards because I was so stressed out from work.
You were pretty stressed, yeah.
Lots of words like cutting threads came up. Unfortunately, it turns out that cutting threads in the workplace is illegal. So, unfortunately,
frowned upon.
So they had to ease my chill a little bit. But since we're not doing a full stream right now, we definitely don't have the technology because usually most of that turn over at my brother's house here. We're both sitting in the same spot now, so we don't have all of our tools. So we can't show you any of the news or whatnot that we've got going on. I can show you some of the sneak peek progress of what we got coming up on the channel. My Wolf Lord on Thunderwolf is in bad lighting at the moment, but yeah, it is definitely coming along. It is mostly done. I love that actiony pose, and the colors on it are just looking great, in my opinion, of course. So something that got broken in the move, and even broken even worse when I started stripping it because it was all damaged from the move. I've started repairing my Logan Grimnar on Storm Rider. So it was snapped at both ankles, and of course the rock where the fin holds it to the base was snapped. So I've used some clear tubing to give it a real good floating through the air kind of feel. I've used a steel pin because I save anytime my drill bits snap for my hobby drill. I save that as a pinning bit in case I need something stronger than the usual brass or even paper clips. So I use that to pin the ankles on these wolves. Added another rock for a little sturdiness, and I think it's actually finally ready to start painting again. So that's pretty cool.
Cool thing about this, sorry guys, like I said, we're still testing, looking at some stuff. The video actually looks better as it's being streamed, other than what it looks like on your.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's not really representative of what the output's going to be.
Oh, you know, I've noticed the same thing that when we're in the Google Hangouts chat, you're worried about light not showing what you're showing. And I'm like, but here it looks fine.
Right. Yeah, this is the exact same thing. For some reason, the computer or laptop, the camera will stream back what you're seeing is crap, but what it's sending out, it seems to, I don't know, compress it really well. So I don't know. It's weird. Yeah. So, but anyway, sorry guys.
This week I've also got a not really a commission, an exchange of models for service going on. So you guys may have seen my Halloween showcase where I showed this typhus conversion, and I really like how that came out. In fact, so did my client, so much so that gave me the other HQs in his army. and said that basically I could get some models from him
Nice.
if I finish up his other HQ, amongst some other things. But that's kind of the bulk of the idea there. So with that, we talked on the show a couple weeks ago about how there was a great disaster and most of Atlas's Space Wolf army is now destroyed. Well, since there's only a few pieces left and there's not enough to completely keep a whole army of, two Wolfen survived, and I love these Wolfen so much. I'm going to do a showcase on them just because the conversion is so amazing. Really wolfing out of these armor. I love this conversion Atlas did, and because I'm such a big fan, he hooked me up with these models. They're painted by really, really awesome machinery known as Freakaliciousness from the channel Frosted Fits. There's also another one. This one didn't quite survive the Great Fall of 2018.
That was one of my favorites.
But I can hook him up some legs. I mean, you know, we might have
An amputee.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
And then, of course, I ended up with 10 of these guys. You guys may have seen did you ever do a showcase on? You did a showcase on these, right? You guys may have seen a showcase on these, and when he said he was selling these, I said I have to have them, which I really didn't need. I have 15 Fenrisian wolves already. This puts me up to 25, but they look gorgeous.
These are all little Marleys. Those of y'all who remember Marley, my puppy.
So he has a shepherd, and I have a shepherd, and so I painted up one of my wolves as a shepherd, and now that she has little baby wolves, so Commander's got little baby Marleys running around.
Pretty awesome.
So those are the things I'm currently up to. Plus, I have my primer should be here tomorrow for the Tau. I got them all stripped up this week. And actually, one thing I want to recommend to you guys, I may do a little video on this. If you guys think I should do a video on this, let me know. But you may have seen a couple weeks ago on the live show, I was shaking around a container of Tau that I had grouped up on, and that's amazing. That's awesome. I would love to. In case he watches it, you know, I don't want to say anything. But that is amazing, Ian. Oh my God.
Isn't that cool?
That is super cool. And we know that's awesome. That is so cool. All right, let's go through the chat real quick. I'm gonna go back, except for the secret thing. We won't say the secret thing. All right, doing good. Excited for the new box that's coming. I know the new box looks really great, and I'm wondering if we, as Wolves, are finally going to be able to take scouts as troop choices with the new Primera. Have you seen the Primera scouts?
Mm-hmm.
They look great, don't they? This is something we should be talking about and showing pictures in the background, but we'll cover this again next week.
Yeah. Or not next week.
Not next week. Oh, that's another thing we need to mention. Next week we will not be doing a live show because it's Valentine's weekend. And
we were the honeys.
Yeah, we're gonna go treat the ladies.
I don't want to sleep outside.
Yeah, right, we definitely don't want to sleep outside with lamps thrown at us, or me. I love you, babe.
Love you too.
Those new Chaos models. Oh, those new Chaos models look great. Some of those. I mean, like the Obliterators definitely needed an updated model. Obliterators are one of my son's favorite models, and the fact that they have new plastic ones, he's going to absolutely love those. The new Scouts, Librarian. Oh, yeah, the new Librarian looks amazing, too. Pretty pimping. Yeah, they definitely, and those Deathsworn wolves definitely look amazing. And what's cool is that I've wanted to use, like, I have them boxed up in my army box from the last game I played. But yeah, I bought I bought 2 Ulrich Slayers so far just to be able to get that wolf helm he has to be able to put on my wolf priests. And now that the Deathsworn are coming out, I could have used those heads instead of carving up 2 Ulrich Slayers. But they look like phenomenal models. I don't want to get them anyways. Ian's Secret, which is amazing.
Yep.
Running Bear says, that is a lucky lad. Nice of you to do that, Soul. And he's just from the Monty Python. Call him the Green Knight. Oh, I talk too much. Not at all, Tim. Not at all. Keep chatting away with us. So one of the things I was doing the whole, see if you can do a whole screen share.
Yeah.
Might as well try.
Yeah, what the heck? You know, we're testing, so we might as well.
Yeah, might as well test everything, right?
Yeah,
We appreciate you guys' patience too while we test some things here. We're 6 now. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
From just a test stream.
Yeah, never mind. Just clear here. Which one is it? The Yakult, right?
Huh?
No, it's the Chaos. Oh my gosh, those were amazing.
I was going to say, what were you looking at? The Chaos models?
Yeah, that's what I want. Wasn't it?
That's probably still under news because they just released the news from the.
Let's see, was it? That wasn't Forge World, was it?
That's on the Warhammer
It's on
community
Warhammer
page, not the Games Workshop site.
That's what it is. Here, let's go here.
There you go, Warhammer community.
Get there.
So while we're doing that, so yeah, I put this in a vat of LA's Awesome. I mean, it stripped everything. All that white chunky paint that I had, they were grays actually, but Ulthuan gray and Celestia gray. But yeah, I mean the gray whites that I had chunked up on here when I messed up. You know, the blues that I had on here for the pants, the blacks I had for the boots, and then the primer. Everything came off. And it's a product I get from Dollar General called LA's Awesome. I mean, it really took most of these models back down to straight plastic with no goop in between. So, yeah. He says it's in the LVO section of the community page.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. Let's see. We're in the community page now.
Las Vegas Open.
Oh, that was. Okay. So that is right.
Ka-chow. Thank you, Ian.
Appreciate it,
You guys can tell we're pros at this.
Oh, we hadn't planned tonight.
We didn't plan tonight. Absolutely. And we're in a completely different place with a completely different setup. Well, I'm in the same place, but you with these tools are in a completely different setup.
I'm out of my element.
and we're back to the 5. Somebody already check that.
It's like a bye. I'm done with this crap.
Real professionals, guys. Real
Right. Yeah, you need to get your jug together. I don't know where it is. That's it right there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the Age of Sigmar crap.
And they haven't even released. Running Bear says he uses simple green. I like simple green. It just doesn't seem strong enough.
Yeah, I found the same thing. I really could not get, especially when you go full bore, like, you know, unwatered down stuff. It just doesn't. It doesn't hold up to mean. What is it?
Mean Green.
Mean Green. Yeah.
Mean Green I like a little better. And then what I was noticing though is while I love Mean Green as a product, the Mean Green after about a week kind of loses its potency, but the LA Awesome stuff just kept going and going. Yep, that's the page.
Oh, cool.
That's all the cool stuff.
Cool. All right, so
there's the Primaris stuff and then the Chaos stuff is toward the bottom.
Okay.
That new Primaris model, I kind of like the new the original Primaris Librarian, but this one looks epic. Like the pose and everything is just awesome.
I do like it. I do like the hood. I like that he's, you know, his head's not covered, or head is covered. Kind of gives it the really mystique look. Look at these. Those are the that's them. Oh geez. All right, let's see if we can share that a little bit here.
Ian says he's already put aside enough to buy 3 of the new boxes, mostly because he wants the new Demon Engine. He loves Demon Engines. You mean the Black Widow looking thing? That thing is hardcore. And as a little bit of an arachnophobe myself, that Black Widow Demon Engine has the perfect amount of like creepy. I don't know. It's got a little bit of horror to me. I really like it. This is going to kickstart my ECs/IWs. Hold on. I think I can get this. I'm drawing a blank.
On what?
Why can't I remember army names all of a sudden?
I can't help you. Sorry.
But I mean, you're clearly the more oriented.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, shut up. Come on. We were just talking about when I was asking you in our game about a year ago. Like,
more than a year ago.
Yeah, 2 years. Well, it was like,
oh yeah, Emperor. Why didn't I get Emperor's Children or Iron Warriors? Like, I just completely drew a blank.
I am Mr. Blank. Don't even.
Oh hey, yeah, your screen share is working. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's actually.
So we can show the news while we talk about it. Now I was reading the chat and I didn't pay attention to anything you did. So,
so look, we're zooming in and gorgeous.
Oh man, those I didn't even see it before, the little binocular things you got. That's cool. Anytime I saw this picture though, there's already a meme going around about it saying, you know, these guys in their stealth camo cloaks, and the sergeant has this bright ass red mask. Like,
Yep.
Sarge, are you sure that bright red mask is what you want to wear on the stealth mission?
That's fine. It's totally
Pow, headshot.
monster kill.
He says they'll have to give us new rules as well. That is what I'm looking forward to. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm wondering what the Primera Scouts are going to be like. And hopefully, guys, I know that this is an unpopular opinion. A lot of people like Sniper Scouts. But hopefully these sniper rifles will actually,
don't get me started.
Do something.
Right?
I've not seen regular sniper rifles really do anything.
I pulled out my sniper rifles, my scouts with sniper rifles, 7th edition, right? And even in 7th edition, you know, running around with the Lance Spearstorm. Okay, the snipers inside the Lance Spearstorm did more damage than the snipers outside of Lance Speeder. In other words, the Lance Speeder did all the work.
Right.
The scouts did nothing with the snipers at all. I mean, I do better with bolters than I do with sniper rifles. So yeah, I don't know. No, I'm a little salty about that. That's just crap. Anyway, but I really like this. That's a really cool looking. Look at him, dude. He's already mind bending something. Look at that.
I know. He's got the pose and everything.
Yeah, it's like I am willing cancer with my mind. What? Boy, dude, you're sick.
Also, I kind of like it because he looks like he's doing the Sean Spencer from Psych.
Yes, he's doing it. I'm destroying you. I'm gonna kill you right now with my mind.
Maybe he's making something up like Sean. Actually, now every time I see that pose, I'm going to see Psych.
Right? Instead of,
he says it looks more like a Jedi. I think that's what I love.
Yeah. I love it because it looks like an action pose that he is really concentrating the power of the warp, right?
Yeah. And like he's just slashed something down and he's using his mind.
Yeah. Like a concentrating.
I can't wait till you get to the book in the Horse Heresy, 1,000 Suns, because it actually describes what some of these people are doing with Smite. You know, like because they say that the Smite takes the form of whatever the user envisions, and so some of these guys are doing things like makes giant fists of fire in the air, and as he swings his fist and punches the air, like these giant fists of flames are actually beating a Titan to death.
Oh wow!
It's really awesome. Hathor Mar or something like that. Anyway, he's a badass.
That's cool.
Looks like a fun build. I definitely agree.
I agree. Yep.
He says the doublet and leather gloves kind of throws me off a bit. I'm interested to read some lore on these guys to explain those things.
That's a good point. Now he also has a camel cloak.
Yeah, and in the little excerpt somewhere here on the page, it says something about the fact that he's leading these stealthy, like he's a librarian leading these stealth sounds. Go up a little bit.
Yeah, let me see here. There it is. Librarians sometimes lead these strike forces. The masters of shrouding and
a Vanguard librarian must be different from the regular Primaris librarian.
They're masters of shrouding and stealth, allowing the battle brothers to strike at enemy. But this is cool. That is really, really cool. I would love to have that, man.
Oh, that would be cool. He says, watch the snipers from this box set be a troop choice for the Assassin Codex coming up. That would be cool.
Really, really.
I really love my Assassin guys. I have two of the Vindicare Assassins, and man, oh yeah, I've got two Vindicare Assassins, and Freak doesn't really enjoy it at all.
Not at all.
They take out his invul saves, and his Psyker on Biker and his Captain Lysander are definitely not safe whenever I pull out. I once brought his Lysander down to 1 HP on the first turn using my Vindicare. Freak was not amused.
Still not amused.
James Meek says, have to paint the cloak with an airbrush? Probably. That definitely, especially with some of those camo effects, probably be the best way to go.
Probably a pattern of some sort, like a template, because, I mean, to get those different... Look at it again. Go back to it. Right there. Hold on. Okay. Let's look at that. So I would have to create a template for that.
Yeah. Or I mean, unless that's textured in.
I don't think that's textured. No, well,
I
I don't see it. Because like with the regular scouts, like the ones that I have, they didn't have anything. I actually
well, yeah, right. But when you see them, they don't usually have a whole lot of texture on or pattern on there anyway.
No, they don't. That'd be great if they were textured in. I don't
Because that line right there is so crisp, it looks like it could almost be, a textured in line.
That would be great. Make it a lot easier.
Yeah. I mean, me myself, I'm just gonna throw a lot of fur up around the hood, anyways.
Yeah. It's gonna be a fur baby. Yeah. Those are interesting sniper rifles. Those are cool looking.
They look powerful.
They look. Yeah.
Maybe they'll do more than strength 4 AP nothing.
That's such a waste. Oh, and I absolutely love the fact that the scope is higher than the iron sights. Jeez.
Okay, you can use cut up some cardstock to make some patterns.
Yeah.
Running Bear says you can use a small child cards from some games.
Yeah.
Use as a template.
Yeah, I have.
You've got your plain template that you printed out.
Yep, I got all kinds.
Transatlantic and aqueducts. Those are definitely, aside from the Vindicaris, those are definitely the best sniper rifles in the game, brother. This guy, man. So my son already has like 3 sorcerers in his Chaos Army, more than he'll ever need. But I still feel the need to paint this one up for his Chaos Army because look how hardcore that is.
This looks so much better than what was our guy Emo?
Chaplain Emo.
Chaplain Emo. If you guys don't know who Chaplain Emo is, oh my goodness, that is just.
So I love the aqueduct so much that I have 20 guys I built as hoplites because I don't like the model for the Electro Priest, and so those hoplite models are my Electro Priest now, which means I have 20 Skitarii bodies that I never use the arms for. So now I'm going to go back. I've ordered a couple more bodies from eBay, and I'm going to put some of those transatlantic aqueducts on. So I'll go from having 3 in my army to like 6 or 7 in my army. So this looks so much better than everything else Chaos currently. I can't argue with you there, brother.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
That's so hardcore. Let's move on to the next Chaos thing. Those flames look like they'd be a lot of fun to paint up.
Definitely a challenge.
That goat head really has some symbolism with old school Satanism, stuff.
Chaos. Yeah, look at that. Little pentagram right there. The devil! It's not the devil, mama. And another booty.
You're going to have to stop listening to that rock music in my house. New Chaos sculpts, pretty cool.
Very cool. I like it.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't know if I would. Well,
I don't. I mean, I guess. See, so from my uncultured eyes, I don't really see a whole lot of difference between those and like the 20 other Chaos Marines that my son has. I can see they have a lot of detail, but they don't really look.
That's what it is. It's more detail, but you know what? It's funny because they have a lot of carryover from 30K.
For the Transonic Arquebuses, Ian says he has 6 right now. 3. Start collecting boxes. 1 Forge Bane, 1 Kill Team, and found 2 on BitSite. Lucky. 7 Math major. You see, Ian, I have an excuse for that. I'm an English major, so at least I have a reason to be. Although there's this Cards Against Humanity card that you can play that says Asians who are bad at math. My friends pass me that one all the time. I think they're trying to tell me something.
This is so ridiculous.
The new Obliterator model. I wonder. I need to call my son to see if he's seen this because he's going to flip.
Tell him to watch our show. He's a watcher.
I mean,
oh my God,
just
look at that.
The hardcore amount of options there. So cool. And if they do new Obliterators, so with Obliterators, I'm not sure if you've ever heard anything about them, but basically they have all the heavy weapons a Devastator would have except Chaos.
Yeah.
And then they get to choose one each round that they want it to be. So they're not firing all these weapons at the same time. But I think, well, that was 7th. I think I think this edition they roll for different stats or whatever. But basically, they have all the different heavy weapons.
Plasma.
The plasma,
like bolter,
Melta. Yep.
And
So,
it looks like a heavy. That's like a heavy bolter, isn't it?
Probably. So essentially, like their body is so chaos infused, their weapons have, their body is kind of absorbed and chaosified and greased up and stuff
part
like
of their
that.
body. Yeah, that is so cool.
Hey, okay, so I'm a Thai blood myself, and then some of my Thai blood is Chinese blood, so that's awesome. He said he's got a brother. It's okay, my brother is Thai and Chinese, and he's terrible at math too. You're not alone. Okay, so maybe it's not just me. Maybe it's the combination of Thai Chinese that makes us bad at math.
Wait.
Maybe there are others. Apparently, there are others out there like
me. Is that what's wrong with me?
Yes.
I knew it.
In addition to other things. All right, so one video that had a chain gun, a soul cannon on his shoulders, and I want him. Okay, so that was the other thing. So obliterators are the heavy weapons version. Mm-hmm. There's also a melee version called a mutilator. So I'm wondering if they're redoing the obliterators. I bet the mutilators are coming next.
Isn't that something that modeling it off after aggressors? That's what it's like. It's very similar to aggressors.
Big, bulky, demonic.
Well, yeah. I'm saying like, an aggressor on series is roids, and they've got the gauntlets, right? That's the first thing I saw when I saw this.
I didn't even think of it that way until you told me that. It's a baby Hellbrute.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see that. And there's the freaking Black Widow demon engine that looks hardcore. Crazy. I am like literally, because I have arachnophobia, like I'm actually when I see this picture, have a little bit of dread instilled in me.
Look at this. They're doing the same thing that I did with that apothecary. They're doing
orange high glow?
Orange, yeah. That's interesting.
Can they see the cursor on the screen? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what I think is really interesting is I'm wondering, look at that light source.
Yeah, that's some serious light source.
That is awesome. They really captured the rounded surface. Yeah. That's really awesome.
And that's not a gloss. That's painted.
No, freak, your problem is you were dropped too many times as a child. Wow.
Who said that?
James Meeks, and then Tim Drop followed up with, Dropped was dribbled like a basketball by the Globetrotters.
It might have been. That's very possible.
Oh, shots fired.
I haven't really narrowed it down yet, Who was the first one to drop me?
Shots fired.
One. Hey, at least.
Hey, the stats on this aren't out yet, right?
No.
Because I wonder what those little whip tendril things by his mouth. I wonder if those things have stats. And it says that just being in proximity tends to make the veil between worlds thinner and makes it easier for demons to spawn.
What?
See right there, allowing demons easier access to real space.
Saturated in the taint of the warp that its presence thins the veil of reality itself, allowing demons easier access to real space. Yeah, okay. I get it. Let's see. It's pretty darn cool. That's the news. Battle Sisters bulletins.
The new Sisters Battle. I don't even know what that is, but it looks pretty cool.
Ooh.
It's got a bolt. It's like some kind of standard bearer.
Yeah, exactly. Dang, that does look cool. I would love to paint that. I really would love to paint that.
So Ian says this thing is supposed to be a half fire support and half summoning conduit. That's interesting. I'm really interested to see what the stats on that are like and what the abilities are. Back to the spider thing as well.
Right.
Running Bear says it's all good if we don't joke. If we don't joke a little, we don't like you. Of course. We definitely understand that teasing is one of the highest forms of compliments.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I guess they like me. Everybody likes me.
Everybody likes me.
Everybody likes me. Till I hit him with a shovel. And then
I don't know. It seems like something a Necron player would take control of from a Chaos player. Oh yeah. Connected. Can
Can it do that?
a corrupted Canoptic Spider or something like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it just looks really cool. At first glance, it looks like a helmet, like a football helmet.
I didn't see that before, but I'm seeing it now.
Sorry, man.
I don't know if you'll be able to pull bloodthirsters out of the void with it, but I'm gonna try. Oh man, that would be so. And then of course, I mean that thing seems like it'll be powerful by itself, and then you pull out a bloodthirster with it. Oh my god. Man, I'm reading Fear to Tread, and man, I could not believe I'm reading about a bloodthirster scene that I was totally not about to spoil. But yeah, I couldn't be reading about a bloodthirster scene in Fear to Tread. It's pretty cool. So that's some pretty epic LVO news coming up. I can't wait to see what else they reveal tomorrow. We all know Saturday is usually a big reveal day. Anybody got any ideas down below what they might be revealing for their big Saturday LVO news? That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. We'll find out.
I'm always interested to see. And honestly, I've gotten to the point where, especially there's so much new stuff coming out lately, that Saturday morning when I wake up on my way to the coffee maker, I'm already grabbing my phone, taking a look for what news there is, what they're releasing and stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. A lot of exciting stuff coming out. We so excited too.
So it says for the Deathsworn, rules for this squad can be found in the Horus Heresy Book 7 Inferno.
Nice.
Renny Bear says, I bet they will hint at a Primarch. It's about time, right? We could definitely use a 40k Primarch, specifically a Loyalist. Just saying.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
So that's awesome. And I honestly, I haven't even gotten the 30. Like, I have the 30k General Red book. I don't have the Space Wolf book for the 30k. So I don't know what their rules or stats are. It's pretty cool though. If anybody plays 30k, drop us some hints what they do in 30k. I know that in general the Deathsworn are the precursors to the Wolfen, right? So I would love to learn more about them. He says if it's Primarch, I bet it's not Russ.
We need a Russ.
We do need a Russ. I agree, though. I kind of feel like if they were going to do it with Russ, they'd have done it, when it was a big thing. The Wolves were doing a big thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say that it's going to be the next big box set for, like, the second big Vigilus.
Right.
Wolves already kind of got their time at Tooth and Claw. And so I don't think they're going to get another box set that way.
We'll see. I'm curious to see what would be the next one, though.
Ian says, I don't know if Abaddon counts as a Primarch, but it was hinted at with the new Lieutenant. Well, I mean, I think the Lieutenant was the dead Primaris Marine at the bottom of Abaddon's base.
Poor guy.
Yeah, Russ at best would come out in December time. Oh my, apathetic fish. Oh my God, we have one of the best painting tutorial channels on all of YouTube right here, guys.
They're not worthy. They're not worthy.
Hey guys, just popped in. I'm painting a bit of Thousand Suns. How's your evening going? Not too bad, my man.
Just actually caught us on a test stream. So
yeah, so Freak's hooking me up with a computer here, so that way I can contribute more to video editing and live streams and stuff like that. And so, yeah, we're just kind of testing to see what the new gear does. So,
yeah, as soon as we turn it on, we had 3 people. What?
Yeah, so
nothing. What?
We decided to go ahead and start chatting, and then we decided to test the screen sharing capabilities, which I saw that you had, I think, on one of the this screen right here, right?
No, go back to our stream.
Where's our stream? Here?
Is this still on? Oh, you're still on? Hold on. No, it's a separate one. It's going to be here. Right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
like
then
your
there was a
hangout.
screen sharing
So
button?
you got right there. Screen
Okay,
share.
cool.
Yeah, go ahead and do it. This is screen share, and then you'll see. We're still testing out things, and then these are all the windows that are open right now. So just pick the one. I think
Internet Explorer.
YouTube. You can do that one just for kicks. You only had to hit it once. So you're streaming our stream infinity. So just hit stop. Yeah, right there. There you go.
Oh, that's why that was doing it.
Yeah. So like for example, what you do is leave it right there and then go down here and then open up right here at biggest open. That's where you want to be. So as long as you know that's where you're kind of select where you want to stage it at.
Okay.
So stage the image that you want to be at and then go back down and find no, go back. No, go back up to your image. Click on the image so you can actually okay. So then go right back down here to the Internet Explorer right there, yep, and select your Google Hangout. And then go ahead and share, just single click and then share Las Vegas and then hit start screen sharing. So now they're seeing what we're seeing there. So that you can, I've got the actual, it's playing here as well, the stream. So it's going to pop up here in just a second. There it is. So that's what they're seeing.
So I really like this banner bearer model. I wonder if it's one of the models covered in the new beta codex that Chapter Approved had.
I don't know. And the thing is, I wish they had more information. That doesn't show a whole lot.
Well,
but I mean, this just came out, so I'm really curious to see really some hints on some stats. That would be amazing.
And honestly, that's the only reason why I haven't picked up a Chapter Approved sister beta codex yet, because there's not really the models out for me to do anything with those stats, you know?
Right. I love that librarian. I definitely want to get that.
I think Gray Robes was a great choice too, because with the gray robes and the leather gloves, it really does add to that Jedi look, which is going to make people like some people someone who's like, I don't really need a Primaris Rune Priest. Okay, I probably need this.
Right. Dude, that's awesome, man. Golly. Gorgeous.
He's the bad ass.
Yeah, definitely. I'll go back here and just stop the share.
And like I was mentioning earlier, I'm excited for the option that maybe we Space Wolves will get a Primaris, these Primaris Scouts as a troop choice, because Wolves are one of the few armies that can't scout spam for to get their CP.
Sigmarine with boot plate,
Yeah, it does look a little bit like the Age of Sigmar armor. I mean, but the boot plate makes it better immediately. I mean, Just taking a moment to appreciate boot plate and that which it contains. Anyways.
Oh.
All right, guys. So that's that is some of the favorite things we wanted to talk about with the big LVO releases for today, and lots of anticipation for the LVO releases.
And we hadn't even planned this at all.
Let us know what it is that you are really excited for out of those things that are on that release page for the LVO.
Yes, I totally agree.
Ian says boot plate makes everything better.
Yes.
Just paint her boots blue. You know what? I like this guy.
I love this guy.
I like this guy. I like how he thinks. We are all 13 of this channel. He's not wrong.
No, he really isn't. I totally agree. I think he's got something there. That's deep, bro. It's real deep.
I get to test that list I sent you all tomorrow. If all goes well, looking forward to it. Awesome. It was a really interesting list. I can't wait to see what you do with it. Definitely shoot us over a little explanation of how it went. I'd really like to see that.
Absolutely, man.
Anything else you'd like to talk about? We don't have a topic of the week or anything. This was
we were just, like I said, we just turned it on, just trying to make sure that everything works, make sure that you guys can hear us okay, by the way. I didn't even bother checking to see if the audio was working okay. Apparently they are, because they can hear us.
I was about to say, they've been responding to us.
Yeah, right. So I think it sounds pretty clear. I know it has a decent microphone. The lighting can actually be adjusted for the camera as well.
Okay.
You can actually brighten and darken it. So I'll show you where those are. but yeah, I mean, so far it's so pretty good. So tomorrow, yeah, I'll just talk about it. So tomorrow I actually graduate. Yeah, so tomorrow it's my graduation thing. Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Finally completed the first grade.
Thank you.
So I'm so done with the first grade. You know, one of the big issues that I had was drawing. Crayons, biggest issue. Anyway, going to the second grade now. Woo! Yay. So yeah, no, really, just finally get to graduate from my IT school that I went to, and pretty excited about it. Graduated, or I mean, we finished in November, late November. Yeah, late November, and but our actual graduation is tomorrow. So get to see my old classmates back tomorrow morning to do the formal stuff. But I'm already working in the job, which I love. You know, IT, and it's pretty cool. I'm loving it, man. Enjoying it. So it's been a good journey. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a heck of a transition. I went from working as a field service engineer to competing with a very extremely saturated market to a like working as ATM, field service repair, you name it. Bless you. Oh, you're yawning. I thought you were. That was gonna be a massive sneeze.
Nothing.
Then I went and did the transition to going straight into IT, help desk, desktop support, the whole 9 yards. So really enjoying this new chapter of my life, and I like it. I'm 8 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, 5 in the evening. Got my weekends off, so I'm pretty happy about that. So awesome, dude.
Awesome, congrats, Ian.
Yeah.
So he has 2 more classes, then he'll have his math degree, which will get him nothing in the job market. Actually, that's not true. In the if you want to apply for the FBI, you just have to have a degree in something.
Yep, true.
And of course, pass a bazillion tests, but
and not have a criminal record.
But dude, congrats. So you were like being legit when you said
he is a
math
This guy's a freaking math nut job. I mean, he's just into the math. You add things and things and things. So, me, I'm like, I lost count.
I got to ask, what's up, brother? Thomas is on. Hell works by Hell.
Oh, hey, man.
Trust me, they probably have fun. That's fair. That's fair. Oh, Darklight, guys!
Wow.
My brother from actually the same mother, Darklight Dreamer, one of my favorite Let's Players, who's currently on a technology.
He was just here. He was just hanging out with us.
He was just hanging out with us, so it's awesome to see him on.
Miss him already.
I miss you so much it hurts sometimes. But that's awesome, Ian. So I gotta ask.
Hey, don't knock it. You'd be surprised next time you see Ian knocking at your door. FBI
agent, special agent
Ian. Special agent.
So I gotta ask. So anytime that you like have a slight miscalculation on something simple, like early, then see that might just tank your application right there. That might just tank your application. You have to find something else for that math degree now. But so anytime you make a slight miscalculation on something simple like the 6 out of 7 earlier we talked about, do people always call you on it like, oh yeah, there's that math major,
the math jockey?
So I got accepted into the DC School of Math and Science for writing and literary. And anytime that I would missay something, my mom would tease me like, "Aren't you Mr. English major?" If I would misspeak or have bad grammar or something like that, my mom would remind me like, "Weren't you supposed to be good at English? Wasn't that like a school thing?" So I wonder that about being a math major.
Oh yeah, somebody will poke you.
Or if I misspell something. Good in
math.
Yeah.
So maybe you can't add.
So now I can't text worth a damn because swipe.
Oh, that's right. You got the whole Android
thing.
You did the whole swipe thing. call my cell phone.
The deeper I need that on a T-shirt. The deeper you get in math, the worse you get at arithmetic.
That's deep in itself. Dang. How many people we have on right now?
Yes. Yeah, I was using your phone.
8. That's right. You know that.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
So basically, I just opened up a separate screen and just play it off of that.
Okay.
So
So you
type
just
in-
start it in one screen and
Yep.
then you open up the YouTube and then just go from there and then
Yeah.
watch the chat.
Yeah, because you got a couple windows down here. You've got Google Hangouts, which is the one that you're actually streaming from. The one that you just created, which is your initial. That's what we started off of. And then I just created this separate. Just went into YouTube and then found our channel, and then we're just kind of playing the stream back to myself so I can see it. You know, and then that way I can read all the comments.
That's awesome. I like that. Nice to be able to do it on one screen instead of dual wielding phones. My mom just blames the gas I drank as a kid.
Me too.
That's hardcore.
Me too. Like, there's something sweet about gasoline.
Wow, Ian says he can find the area under a curve but not make change. That's paint chips are delicious, especially the red ones. And the red ones make you go faster.
True. That's true. And lead poisoning? What's that? Just saying.
What you got coming up this week, Freak? What you working on?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, hey, you just filmed something for the channel, didn't you?
I did. Oh yeah, I did. So
Because both of us started with a cheap $20 Masters airbrush, and both of us will swear by that. You know, both of us
hold on a
think
second.
Masters airbrush is
Wait
a
on
great
it. I
place.
thought I saw it up here. Whoa. Keep talking.
So the Masters airbrush, great place to start. I mean, it's a $20 airbrush, not counting your compressor or whatnot. But honestly, I learned a lot of my basics, and even the airbrushes I use now, it's a great. Like I can get a lot of those same effects with the cheap Masters version. Now, have I been through 2 of them in the last 2 years? Yes. So, but at $20 a year, it's still not bad. So
this is a master, right?
Yep.
This is
this is the upgraded $30 Master,
Right.
because we fancy up the game.
okay.
Treat yourself, baby.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
And the thing is that they modeled the Masters airbrush to the Iwata. Basically, it's just a cheap knockoff to Iwata, but everything, of course, except for some of the mechanics and
That's a great question, Tim.
Yeah.
We're coming back to that.
what's that? What do you mean? Okay. Anyway, so a lot of this was just basically created just as a not as a replacement to the Iwata, but definitely a good, as substitute. If you're really hard strapped for cash, I didn't have the cash. I just went, but I wanted to get into airbrushing, and so really, this is the way to go, especially if you're newbing like I did.
Mm-hmm.
First time, I was scared to death, but this is a great way to start it off. And Masters airbrush, this is like you said, the $30 version. I think there's a little higher ones, but once you start getting better, you're better off going either with the Iwata or going with the Badger. So this is a good airbrush.
Yeah, so that was a great starting point. Both, like I said, both of us swear by starting with the Masters.
Yep.
So after that, though, Freak eventually got an Iwata.
Yep. It's the Revolution.
And in December, I destroyed my second Masters airbrush. And so I decided to get another one. Inspiring. I may have to look into it.
Yeah,
Airbrush.
definitely, man.
Absolutely. Definitely.
So the video that, and I'm not going to go deep into it, but I actually, okay, Mythos, go ahead and talk about it. Just kind of.
Well,
Gotta
I
share
was
a
just
little
telling him I was having to relearn a whole new process because the usage of the Badger is different than when I use his Iwata or the Masters. It was different from both sets.
I mean, again, just imagine the Masters is pretty much designed after the Iwata. It's very similar, but again, it's a very low end starter model, but still
Right.
overall mechanics, the feel is very similar to Iwata. But if you notice the difference between the height on the trigger, this trigger here is pretty typical. You notice, look how high the trigger is on that.
That extra ½ inch makes a difference.
It really does. That's pretty significant. So one of the things that I was concerned about was, okay, how will it feel by handling it, holding it in my hand, and how will I be able to balance? Because here's the thing, an airbrush is no different than a gun. If you fire a gun, you know that it makes a huge difference on balance. And if it doesn't bounce well in your hand, it won't.
No different? No different.
Well, I mean, come on, you know what I mean. you know what I mean. You know. So my point is that, it's to be able to hold it, make sure that it does feel balanced in your hand makes all the difference in the world. So, and I was really concerned about that. So anyway, Mythos was like, hey, I'm struggling with the Badger. Can you do can you kind of check both about check your Iwata and compare it to the Badger and just let me know maybe it's me or maybe it's just the Badger, the airbrush.
Because I can get some really soft, close power effects with an Iwata or the Masters, but and it's just me having to learn a new tool. Using it in the same method that I would with the Iwata, I find that some of the same method I would use with the Badger turns into a shotgun blast, a wider radius of paint spray. So it's definitely taken a little learning. Oh yeah, priming the pump, definitely pulling it back and forth to clear that needle, definitely.
Well, and that's what I love about that particular model. They've taken a lot of steps to make it easier for you to clean the tip, clean the needle. As a matter of fact, that particular model does not come with a guard, and that's another thing that really kind of had me concerned, because it's definitely not an airbrush for.
You can definitely stab somebody with that.
Oh yeah, in the neck, it's definitely not a newbie's airbrush. Okay, because if you drop it, it's it. Needle's gone. It's done. And by the way, that's not an inexpensive airbrush. It's $175 to $200, airbrush, roughly. And like I said, it's the make, the material, everything. It's like gunmetal. It's just very well made. That's made in the USA. The Badger is, and the Iwatas are made from Japan.
Brother James, priming the pump is when you pull the needle in and out.
Yep.
Clear the tip.
Yep.
Helps run some of the junk out through.
Yeah. Typically, you want to put some cleaner in, airbrush cleaner, and then you start, like I say, priming the pump. Basically, you're kind of pushing out whatever's inside, and eventually it'll right out the front. So, yep.
Oh yeah, definitely don't drop it.
Yeah. No, and oh man, that's the nightmare, right? Because you drop that joker, you're done.
I would say cleaning the tip is pretty much something all guys should be taught early in life. You ain't wrong, brother. You ain't wrong.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're back to being 13.
Yep.
We just had a very technical discussion on our airbrushes, and now we're back to being 13.
Like,
that's us.
Yep, we're good.
Mito says, oops. That was when I broke my last airbrush and had to get this one. There was a lot of oops, only they were different for letter words than oops.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, again, this is all going to be part of the video, but I'll actually do an example because I'm painting something. I painted Aquila. Half of it was done with my Iwata, the other half was done with the Badger. That'll be when I share that video up. But the difference between the two, and the reason why Mythos had some issues with that particular, is not the airbrush itself. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. It's the airbrush's pressure base. It definitely sprays with a harder or larger amount of pressure than the actual Iwata. While the Iwata is typically about 25 psi once it goes through, because it's basically regulated within the actual airbrush. The what do you call it? The Badger is like close to 30 or higher. So you've got a lot of pressure blowing through that airbrush. So now here's the thing. One thing that I know is that when I sprayed, it covered a lot of ground really, really fast. You go through a lot of product, but it's got a wonderful. You're not going to have splatter. It sprays evenly. Really, really nice. I'm really impressed with that. But again, it takes a lot more control to actually get down to like the little bit of product put it out, because otherwise you get it about a quarter, a quarter of the way, and you're pretty much opening it up.
Yep.
So
yeah, definitely more of a shotgun blast.
Yeah, exactly. So, but again, it definitely's got great coverage.
Brother Ian says he's been airbrushing through 3 years, and he's had 3 master's brushes. So about the same ratio as me. I've had about
That's
one
right.
a year. Yeah. I bought a couple of Badgers thanks to their $65 sale, but not exactly sure when they're coming in.
No, don't mock the. Trust me. I mean, that's what we worked on. Those masters, man. Those masters are great. They are an absolute great airbrushes. They work wonderfully, man. And like I said, I've had mine for a long time, and they're just really good work. For starting out airbrushes, and get the masters, learn the basics on how to airbrush, and then if you want to spend the extra dough, go ahead and jump into an Iowata or in a Badger, or something even more, And there's so many different levels of both, So.
Brother Running Bear says I have to watch that one. Maybe then I'll get one just sort of change methods, like the feel of a good old brush. And we definitely love using the brush too. And a common misconception that some people have is that once you go airbrush, that's all you use. And we definitely spend a lot of time getting in there with a real brush. It's just we're just changing the way some of our highlights and some of our.
Can you grab your brush? No, one of your models, just any of your models, any of those. Okay, well, one of the painted ones you just did, like your robot. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so here Mythos did a really good job on this. What's that?
I said just the arms.
Okay. So basically, I don't know if you can see this, but basically, Mythos used the airbrush to, of course, you did the base coating. Well, it's priming. Well, you primed with the can, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. But then you went back with the base coating. Got a nice even coat. Now, what he used the airbrush for also was to do, after he did the base coating, he did the highlight top down. So if you look at it, you're real careful, I don't want it to fall apart. There's the light looks like it's reflecting. It's brighter from the top down. But if you look from underneath, you kind of see the darker shadow or shading, if you will. So you've got a nice transition, light, dark. You got shadows. You got a really, really beautiful transition in color, and that's what makes airbrushing really important. But what the airbrush cannot do is it cannot substitute these little details. You can't do that with airbrush. At least I know I can't. I don't know anybody who really can. Stuff like the piping, all the metallic, the little stuff that needs to be done by hand, rivets, things like that have to be done in detail work. Like Mythos did a great job here with the hoses and all that, the lines. Again, that's stuff that has to be done by hand. So you really can't, you really can't substitute that with an airbrush. So it's just another tool in the arsenal. That's all it is. Another tool in the toolbox. Just makes things go a little faster. It's not cheating. It's just, getting the work done a little easier so you can concentrate on the detailed stuff. So, I mean, that's pretty much it, man.
Now, if you're good at blending and, because that's the number one thing a lot of people use the airbrush for is either speed and expediency or to get those blends. Because while you can get the same blend with a brush, it just really makes it easier to get some of those blends and transitions.
Well, this is a really interesting conversation. Now we're going to airbrush. James Smith says, what airbrush paint do you guys use? He uses P3 or Vallejo and mixing it down. Me personally, I use predominantly Vallejo Game Air. It really depends on what I'm painting. If it's not a very extravagant model or something I'm not really care, like it's terrain, I'll actually use cheap, crappy paint from Walmart, the plaid, and you just break it down with what do you call it, with thinner. Yeah, there you go.
That's my black I use for everything. I like it better than have it on black. It comes out more matte.
Yeah, exactly. And the cool thing about this is, it's acrylic. It's acrylic paint. You're not really painting it up, putting it on a model, or you can even base it with. My point is that if you can get acrylic and just break it down because it's super, super thick, you can break it down, like I said, with airbrush thinner or some other kind of medium. Then yeah, it works just fine. But like I said, I personally do Vallejo Game Air. So
It's
yeah,
definitely his go-to.
yeah.
I'll try just about anything. My favorites is like are some of the ones that are specifically designed for airbrush, like the Secret Weapon heat effects. Oh my god,
Yeah,
I love those paints. It was my first time working with the gel medium too. You gotta learn to use them a little differently, but man, use them right in there.
That's a good one too. Can you get that one? The metal? That one, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Vallejo metal, of course.
This right here, this is gold, guys. If you haven't had a chance to use this,
well, I mean, this is a lead belcher color. It's not really gold.
God, yeah. Oh my God. Anyway, so yeah, this is the magnesium. I haven't gotten this one yet. This is a little more like lead belcher.
I need to get the silvery one.
Yeah, I do have the silver one. So it's more like, okay, so the silver one actually almost looks like mercury. That's how very shiny, very, and it's super, super thin. You don't have to worry about thinning out your paints when it comes to. Here's the thing, even when it comes to the Game Air that is specifically for your airbrush, sometimes you still have to thin them down a little bit. Oh, you still yawning?
No.
Am I boring you? But these already come pre-thinned, and just add them to your airbrush, and they're ready to go, man. And these look amazing, so amazing. So I've got this in the jet exhaust, which is it's darker than that. Is that covered in jet exhaust?
Yep, this is jet exhaust.
Oh, that is awesome right there. That is such a huge model, dude.
I can't wait to meet this one up.
That's
a little sneak peek on something coming to the channel. This is jet exhaust.
Yeah, look at that.
Super smooth finish from that Vallejo metal color. And it's got that dark steel color. Yeah. It's awesome.
Jet exhaust, and then of course I've got the silver. And like I said, the silver actually is so bright, it's like mercury. It's really, really, really.
And it's not even the brightest one. Chrome.
No, yeah,
chrome.
I'm sorry, chrome. That's what I have. Chrome. That's what it looks like. And then I bought the gold. And what I use with what I do with the gold is I actually first use Glorious Gold by Vallejo Game Air, and then I go back with the metal color gold, and I just kind of. I won't even airbrush it. I'll actually use a regular hand brush and manually touch up to kind of give it a little highlights.
And Brother Ian, we've seen some people have trouble with the gold coming out kind of greenish too.
Yeah.
But when we undercoat it with the copper first and then we put on the gold, then it comes out much better.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. I have seen that. It kind of gives it that almost like a faded greenish. Weird. So I have steel.
Like when you were in high school and bought your girl that green.
My finger's turning green. Shut up. That's just my love.
Wow. Wow. You keep your love to yourself, so it's going to start turning body parts green.
Hey, things were rough back then. We didn't have, well, never mind.
Got to wrap it because you wrap it. You understand?
Right? Because you definitely don't want no.
Anyway, definitely it's only about 5 different colors. There's so many that they're just a few shades different. Yeah, exactly. They are almost indistinguishable. So what I do is I just bought a couple that were a couple steps up. So I want to get the bright silver next. I have the lead belcher one. I like the jet exhaust one. I'm out of jet exhaust now. But yeah, for me it was just the jet exhaust, the magnesium, and then the silver are really the only ones I use. After that, Fish says, which of the metal colors looks like lead belcher? I'm interested because I have a ton of mechanical paint. It's called magnesium, my brother. Yeah. It is the best. Well, unfortunately, I've got paint all over the front of it, so he's not going to be able to see very much.
It's 77, 711. It's the magnesium. It's that right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. We'll give it a little. Few more seconds to him.
It's so liquidy and thin already. It's my favorite lead belcher type paint to use.
Yeah. And yeah, it's very thin. Sprays on smoothly.
Sprays on
Also,
smoothly.
if you want to put it in a palette and then, like I said, manually brush it on, oh man, it goes on really well. And you don't need a whole lot to base coat with the part of putting it on. It's just a really smooth paint. So, yeah.
All right, now. Oh, do you have anything else you want to say about airbrushes?
Oh no. Like I said, that video is going to come out this week, so I have to edit it.
That's going to be a really great video.
Yeah.
Okay, so Runny Bear asked earlier, I wanted to come back to this. He said, what was the worst thing you did as a kid? I took a 10-foot pole and ran it into an old TV, and yikes, old tubes do retain a charge. Knocked me off my feet. I was 8. Wow, that was pretty epic. You know, it's funny, my brother, Dark Light Dreamer, used to work in a computer factory, and every once in a while they would have to destroy defective parts. Right. And so this was, I don't even know if I should say the name. Anyways, one of these big computer companies. It's one of the big ones that you might have in your house, right? Oh, what did you do? What did you do? What did you do? Oh my God! What did you do? I didn't do it. Bezos. It's one of these big brands that you might have in your house right now. Anyways, they literally gave him a ball pin hammer. Yeah, ball pin hammer, and said, I need you to break some of these monitors. And
the old
CRTs.
Monochrome CRTs.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, anyways, he didn't know until he had already been destroying monitors for a couple of weeks that some of these old ones retain charges in the tubes.
Oh yeah.
And man, they could have really set him up for a dangerous situation.
Yeah. All right, guys, go back up. Go ahead, you got your mouse.
So my brother Darklight was almost in a similar situation. James Meek says he bit into an extension cord and got a glimpse into the wharf. Now that is a wolf brother.
Wow, man.
Right after he bit onto that cord, somebody had to come after him with the newspaper.
Yeah. There, you were hungry, brother. You got an appetite on you.
Shameless Soul said, I had one of those outlets where you had to have a ground pin to work. Decided to use a pipe cleaner to depress the ground switch in the outlet. He says he blacked out in his cul-de-sac. Wow, that's pretty awesome.
These are great stories, man.
Yeah. I always remove the back end of my brush. It makes priming the pump. Oh, wait.
Yeah, we would.
Okay, so a couple of those stories. The one I'm about to talk about involves Darklight. So you guys remember I screamed with the hammer and with deaf. Oh yeah, he had actually it was longer than that. It was about half the day he was deaf.
What?
From tapping the screen with the hammer. Yeah, it was crazy. And they had no safety people there at that company. It was crazy. So, anyways, the worst thing I did as a kid actually involves Darklight.
Should I leave?
So Darklight, when he was just a toddler, he didn't know any better. These doors in Germany, these apartments, a lot of them didn't have air conditioning. And so what they had is that the balconies all had doors that would both tilt in, or if you lock that in, would open up like a normal door. But you had to lock it one way or the other before it opened the other way. Well, we were living in Germany. We were on a high apartment or whatnot. Anyways, my mom is in the kitchen making breakfast. I remember clearly the smell of bacon and eggs. She's making. I'm watching her cook. I have had a fascination with cooking ever since we were kids, and I'm sitting watching it. And neither of us realize young Darklight is at the balcony door behind me, and apparently he unlatched one side. We didn't hear it. He unlatched the other side. We didn't hear it. This huge, the windows to these apartments were super thick, and I'm remembering them like this thick as a kid, but they were probably regular size. But the whole door slammed me to the ground, smashed my face open with the weight of the door, and glass broke all around me. Fast forward to when we're both like 8 and 5, and I was probably a little older than that, 9 and 6, something like that. Anyways, so Dark Light and I are arguing over whose turn it is to have control of the TV in our room, and he really wanted to watch Guts, and I don't even remember what it is I wanted to watch. But we end up like we go from a little wrestling to like rolling over on the bed and hitting each other. And I don't remember, something must have been good on TV for us to. I think it was something anime-ish I wanted to watch, and he wanted to watch Guts on Nickelodeon, and we were having an argument. I think it was like I think it was a rerun of Robotech or something like that.
Sounds like the family from Tackleberry on the Police Academy.
Anyways, there was so my mom was a fitness and nutrition expert when we were kids, and they had a at-home workout machine. And there was this pipe that went to one of the weight bars, a heavy steel pipe that went to one of the weight bars, and we used to, use it as a sword or something like that when we were playing. Anyways, I grab it, and real quick, before I tell you what happened, I swear that I did not swing it at him. I was not trying to hit him. Okay, but I did hold it up above my head, and I said, "You better give me the remote. I'll hit you. I'm gonna hit you." And I swear I was just joking, but we had both been wrestling around and hitting each other. Okay, so our hands were sweaty, and the pipe may have slipped out of my hand, and I, as a kid, may have busted my brother's head wide open and sent him to the hospital. Worst memory in my entire life.
Well, probably not so much for Dark Light, because he probably doesn't remember half of it and got knocked the heck out.
No, he remembers. That makes it worse.
Boy.
So I didn't realize how badly I'd split his head open at first. And so I instinctively grabbed a towel and I'm like, shh.
Just let it happen. Just let it happen. Okay.
Oh, I'm the worst brother in the world. Like, even now, remembering that moment, I have this, like, heavy feeling of shame.
Oh, you dirtbag. Yeah.
I am a dirtbag. Anyways, so we used to ride the back truck.
I remember that. I used to do that, man. We had a Pinto. Had no seatbelts.
Going 50 miles an hour down the road, never was pulled over, never being put in the back of a station wagon, no seatbelts.
Oh, hey, by the way, 50 miles an hour back then was really cruising, by the way. So
we were tougher, if less intelligent. So I agree, Running Bear. In fact, we had an old LeBaron, and in this LeBaron, Chrysler LeBaron, and Bill Engvall has this joke about being up laying as a kid in the back dash. And I'm like, I remember doing that. Come on, Thomas.
Thomas is definitely.
I thought it was Friday. It seems like it's Messy Monday.
Looks like it. He used to stir in that pot.
Oh, James says, but did you get to see your show? Wow. Darklight says, also don't forget when we almost burned her house down. Juan fighting with Roman candles. Oh, yeah. That was funny. We got, before Harry Potter was cool, we almost burned the house down having a wand battle. That was still fun.
You know, it's scary though, because my brother actually will remind me of stuff that we did that I did not remember. Mm-hmm. And then I slowly, vaguely start remember that, oh my God. And I was thinking, okay, did I start that? Did I do that? You know, and it usually winds up bad, you know, and I'm like, oh God, I did do that. So yeah, I'm not too crazy about, you know, going back in history. Oh.
Running Bear also had many Roman candle wars and bottle rockets as a kid. Man,
stuff, man,
I agree. Who said it earlier? How did we all survive childhood?
I don't know, man.
James Meeks.
Paint chips too, you know, the BB gun wars. I remember
BB gun wars.
Yep.
So, being that I was raised in military school, guns were always sacred. So even a BB gun, we knew not to point at each other. Well, except for my dad, Mr. Drill Sergeant. So there was one day that we were in the yard, and he was back in the backyard drinking beer with his buddy. He's like, "All right, the adults are talking. You need to leave now." I'm like, "All right, I'm going. I'm going. I'm going." He's like, "No, seriously, you need to leave." I'm like, "Okay, I'm going." He's like, "Don't make me shoot you with this pistol." And I'm like, "Sure, Dad." I remember looking back at him saying, "Sure, Dad. Like you're really gonna shoot me." And he had just put a fresh CO2 cartridge in there. So, man, he sure enough did.
Oh my
I was not expecting that. Man's a drill sergeant. I don't know why I wasn't expecting that.
We called him.
I'm like, you're really good. Ow! Jesus! You just shot me!
Yeah, we definitely used to do a lot of that, man. Oh my gosh. Who hasn't as a kid jumped off the edge of their roof into your yard? I don't know. Was that paint chips that made me do that? I don't know. My brother and I both did that.
Yeah, that's just y'all. A childhood friend put an arrow through his sister's arm. Oh,
What?
he shot it up in the air. We all ran, but her.
Oh, it's not those lawn darts, huh?
Okay. So that we have done. In fact, that used to be a sword training drill that Darklight and I used to do. Us and Cloud and a couple others. It was we all had our swords, and these were actual kendo for actual training. And we would launch it up in the air, and then when it would come down, whoever would come closest to, we would actively try and riposte it. So we got good at blocking. Paintball wars without padded gear. Man, even with padded gear,
that still hurts.
some of those paintballs just really, really hurt. So we would cut down hockey sticks into swords and play D&D. That's awesome. So it's funny. Raz and I grew up. I mean, I wouldn't say poor, but we grew up not having everything. Sure, lower middle class, I guess, is what you would describe. And I mean, that was towards the end of our childhood. Earlier in our childhood, I would definitely, I mean, early enlisted man's pay, single income dad. Yeah, we definitely didn't have a lot at the beginning. So, anyways, saying all that to say that we definitely had our got a little yard darts. Yeah, definitely.
There you are. Yep. Yard darts. Lawn darts.
I got distracted. Horse kids. What was I going to talk about? Hell, I lost. I'll come back to it. This is that ADD kicking in again. Ooh, shiny. Somebody said something out like yard darts.
Sorry, man. And they're rocks throwing at each other playing war. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I mean, I'm a little older, so I remember we had to resolve. We had to use different projectiles in order to be able to tag each other. You know, I mean, the whole pew 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 just wasn't enough with the finger. So yeah, rocks, and then eventually the BBs. You know, so yeah.
I like SCA, Iron Guild, and Blunt Steel. Oh yeah, so that's where I was going. So Raz and I have been training in martial arts, Darklight, and I have been training in martial arts all of our life. And honestly, I mean, sword has been one of our fortes since even as kids, because again, we're 50% Thai. Kickboxing runs in our family, and also, you know, sword work runs in our family, and I don't speak Thai, so I'm going to butcher the name of Thai scimitar work, but it's Krabai Krabang, right? And just the way Thai people use scimitars has always fascinated me, and so we've always been, you know, bugging our relatives and stuff like that, our mom, and you know, show us some more sword work, show us some more kickboxing, show us. So our family would teach us, and we didn't, as poor kids, we didn't have, you know, a lot of access to actual training weapons. So I mean, there's been a couple of times where we would steal, like, you know, old brooms and stuff like that. People would set out by the trash curb and stuff like that, and that was our SCA equipment. You know, that was our training equipment, with old mop sticks and stuff like that. And there was some of it where our training weapons got broken, and so we literally there was like these stakes that people were using to put up signs like vote vote for this person. We took the stakes out and made wooden swords out of them. It was pretty interesting. But I mean, of course, once we became teenagers, made our own money, and able to do stuff like that, then we should end up actually getting actual training gear, actual kendo, some actual gloves and padding and stuff like that. And it was just a world of difference. It's like when you train all the time with junk and you actually have decent equipment. And it's funny because we ran that equipment into the ground too. Our first kendo and stuff like that, by the end of it, we had so much duct tape and electrical tape wrapped around those things that they weighed an extra 10 pounds. SCA and Amp Guard, both very cool. I've never been a big fan of Amp Guard because the whole, you were tagged in a spot and, that spot is now handicapped. I don't have an arm anymore. I've never favored that style of dueling. Funny story, though. So there is an Amp Guard community here in Houston that's called the North Houston Fencing Team. And anyways, so they compete nationally, and they have different competing brackets. Yeah. And for their high school level, one of our friends used to come to our Saber Club, where Raz and I would take some of the sword work we've been training with in martial arts for years, and we would, kind of it was a little dueling group. And this person was like, I really like y'all style fighting. It's so much better than my boyfriend. So we were like, well, why don't you tell us a little bit? I was like, well, she did the kind of like the subtle bragging about her boyfriend. Well, my boyfriend's the captain of the North Houston fencing team, and he goes to competitions and he won a medal in Florida and yada yada yada. We're like, okay, we should bring him to Saber Club sometime. And she's like, oh yeah, I keep telling him he should come, but he says that what we do isn't a real sport, so he refuses to come. I was like, oh, okay, he's bougie like that. And so eventually we ended up going to her birthday party, and I don't mean any disrespect, but it was a boring party.
Plenty of disrespect.
It was a boring party, and so my brother and I didn't know most of the people there. She just, because we were friends from Saber Club, that she invited us. We were happy to go, thankful, but we didn't know anybody there, and it was already not a very exciting party, and it was a lot of just people huddling around the punch bowls in gossip groups, and so eventually Raz and I got bored, and we decided to pull the kendos out of the trunk. There was an outside grilling, stuff like that. And so we just popped the trunk and pulled out the kendo, and we put on a little exhibition match. At first we were really just getting in a few passes with each other. And then as people started watching, we're like, dude, let's put on a really good show. And we were like less sparring at that point and more, putting on a good show with some sparring elements, and people started clapping and cheering. And so anyways, her boyfriend was at the party and had like 50 people peer pressure, like, oh, you're Mr. Medal winner. You got to go show what you can do, yada, yada, yada. And he was like, oh, well, what they do isn't a real sport anyway, so I can beat them easily. And so people were like, do it, do it, do it, do it.
No peer pressure.
And so with that, this dude eventually gives in. And I said, okay, well, I don't know what fencing for, the North Houston fencing team's like. You're going to have to explain to me what your rules say. He's like, I mean, what you do isn't a real sport anyway, so let's just go with your rules. So I said, okay, wow, that's fine. So I gave him the rules of Saber Club. I said, this is an open dueling forum, okay? And I explained to him what resets are, what scoring areas are, and I mentioned that we're, what we do is 3D fighting, not in a straight line. Man, I put that boy to shame. He didn't touch me one time. And then after I got done with him, I said, oh, well, I said, this probably isn't fair. I'm a college kid. You're more my brother's age. Surely, you can beat my brother. I said, surely you can beat my little brother. He's like, got himself all pumped up. Mm-hmm. Raz put him even more to shame. Because here's the thing: when it comes to straight blade work,
Yeah.
Raz and I are pretty much equals. However, Raz's forte is that he's a dodge walking. He studies a style called shadow walking, right? And it's to simply not be there, but give the illusion that you're there. So simply swaying out of the weight of a passing blade, that kind of thing, or leaning out of reach, and then counterattacking.
Mm-hmm.
And so he counterattacked this kid so hard that this kid never even got to finish swinging at him. Every time he would pick up his sword to hit him, Raz would dodge past it and smack him. So it was funny. He thought he was taking on my little brother, and he ended up getting a worse beating. All right, so I did SCA back in the 80s, used a shielded hammer with a hook curve coming off the back. It was great to take peeps off the ground. That's awesome. I would love to see pictures of that. El Chow said, SCA made me look like a cheetah for weeks afterward. Right? You will definitely get some bruises and purple and blue marks, my man. My night house is actually aimed after the fighting house I was in when I played Amtgard. That's awesome. I didn't know you did that, brother. Do you have any pictures of that? I'd love to see it. James Meek says, I used to make armor full plate. I'll forward a picture. Definitely. That would be awesome. Freak. Read to me what that name says.
Which one?
Right
there.
Right there.
Saracens?
Saracens was my fighting house in Amtgard. Then Thomas says, poor bastard. He said, I was sword shield guy. Love being part of a shield wall.
Wow.
That's awesome. I was learning a little fencing when I was in SCA. I didn't get to stay very long because I didn't. The person I was going with at the time took a job in another town, and I wasn't able to go anymore. And at the time, I had my driving privileges revoked at the time for being a reckless teenager. Now read that one.
Which one?
The House of
And
was my fighting house out of Traders Gate in San Antonio. That's awesome. That's not too far from us either. It's a 4-hour drive. Wow, this was really, I mean, dude, Amtgard, sword work, airbrushing. This has been some great conversation tonight.
Didn't expect it. All we doing was testing.
Right? I'm going to have to go back and rename this stream something.
Yeah. Just what's on your mind.
Yeah, definitely.
But, yeah.
I also am, so I'm trained with the sword. Scimitar is my specialty. But I use the same principles with katana and stuff like that. Katana being actually designed as a two-handed weapon, I am not as fluid with the katana, but katana is my favorite weapon, I would say.
I love katanas. What?
I love katana, and anyways, katana being a two-handed weapon is not actually designed for scimitar-style fighting, but I love using one anyways. I'm so thrown off right now. I also have spent training. I also have training in staff fighting. Two-handed Chinese spear technique is my favorite form of staff fighting. Now, Geeking Out is a great title for this.
Yeah, that.
Geeking out about all kinds of stuff. Darklight's favorite weapon is a straight-bladed katana. Really suits his fighting style. I think that's everything I'm formally trained with.
When did you first start?
When?
Yeah. Q&A, guys. Like, how old were you when you first picked up?
So when I first picked up the sword, so I have all this Asian experience from the Asian side of my family, right? With kickboxing and the Thai scimitar, stuff like that. But when I first started, Darklight and I had this babysitter who was from the Czech Republic when we lived in Germany, and he worked in a museum, and which is where actually my the name Mythos comes from. It was given to me by this babysitter who was a museum worker, a friend of the family. And anyways, being that I'm not even sure what he did at the museum because again, this was when we were kids, and my memory from back then is not that great. But sword and flail seems like an amazing uh, combination. One thing I've been wanting to try is I'm also pretty good with a whip, and I thought whip in my offhand with my style of sword fighting would also be pretty cool to see. Anyways, so yeah, it was definitely Darko who first put a sword in my hand, and one of the things he did for the museum was, he was one of their experts on historical reenactments and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
And so I think that's one of the reasons why Razzie and I love a lot of the European stuff too, even though we don't have a lot of we have a lot of Asian stuff and we love that stuff because we have a lot of family stuff over there. But a lot of the European stuff I think we get from.
About how old you think you were?
I would say 8. Yeah, I think
cool.
8 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Eden, you gotta tell me what a
Modo.
What?
It's a modo. A modo. Yeah.
What is a modo?
I don't know what it's supposed to pronounce.
Oh, buckler with a spear attached.
Yeah.
He explains it right after. I just got stuck on the first sentence. A buckler with a spear attached.
Yeah.
I've always liked the idea of a bladed shield, so that's pretty awesome.
Too many German beers out
there. Plead the fifth. Love to flail, leg them, and leave them.
Cool. It's cool.
What about you? You got any weapons you specialize in?
Yeah, just a pistol.
Just a pistol.
Yep.
Oh, that's a particular training I started with you. I mean, I learned in military school, but I never had my own firearm until I started going and started
went to the range.
Yeah, because I'd never even used a semi-automatic before. Yep. In military school, we always used revolvers. Yep. And what's funny is that even though I started with revolvers in military school, my boss's boss took me to the range a couple years ago, and we were using his Deputy Special Edition revolver.
Yeah.
And I couldn't use a revolver anymore. It was felt too foreign after years of using a semi.
I had the same issue. A friend of mine, he was my neighbor. Back where I used to live at, Marty. Marty. Anyway.
Yeah.
He was the retired LA Port Authority captain, and he had this Magnum, and this, oh my gosh, but it was the Dirty Harry special, right? It's then with a long barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, he can put it right down the middle. I mean, he had perfect aim. I picked that thing up, and I was like, I hated it. I hate firing, But I was more comfortable with the semi-auto than that. I just was not used to it. It's definitely not mine. That's why they say get to know your firearm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And my new one is almost paid off, so I'd be happy to learn that one.
Yep.
Always wanted to see.
Yeah, 6R, man.
This is going to be awesome. So, Brother Thomas says, leg as many as I could with the flail and let the 2 sword flow players come finish them off. James says that that's how you win a war. Yeah, it's a good strategy. Relying on your teammates to follow up on what kind of damage you laid out. That's awesome.
That's cool. But yeah, I mean, that aside from that, I'm pretty much stuck with music. That's all I've been. I got interested.
Beating people with your fists.
Right. Not quite like that, but I had an ear for music. It was discovered when I was 3. Of course, a 3-year-old doesn't know anything about that. He just like, I just like this, and then go off and play something, play somewhere. But I really didn't start developing it until I was more around 13, close to 14, and then just started picking up different instruments and went off like that. Everything is self-taught, so.
Oh, you don't have any formal training for any of your music?
They started to give me formal training when I was 3, and of course the instructor said that he's just too young for that. So then around 13, I decided to get it because I wanted to learn. So I taught myself theory, I had some books that actually, I learned how to actually read music, and then finally I got away from that and I started understanding chord progressions, and just playing different styles, learning different styles of music, and pretty much went from there. So I cut my teeth in so many different ways. Oh, that is awesome, dude. Learning the bass is no simple feat, man. It takes a lot of work. And by the way, the bass player and the drums are supposed to be like that. You mess up, bass messes up. So,
Keep talking.
but yeah, no, man. I mean, I learned to play the guitar, a little bit of drums, the bass, piano, different things like that. So it was just, it was a lot of fun, and I'm still playing. So, oh wow, there you are. We have to pause it, and we'll have to. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can screen share that.
Yeah. You guys are in for a treat, man. Hang on a second. Wait until we can. You're not. I don't think you'll be able to have the. I don't know. Might have the audio. I don't think I'll have the audio.
Yeah, the audio.
Yeah. So let me see something. Let me go down here. You have to share the screen there. Click on that.
Right here.
Yeah, and then share the screen again. And find. Yeah, that's it. Click on that. Hit start screens. And then now you can hit play. Wow, hit maximize it. Oh. Yeah, you can back it up and there you go.
Clack, 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 clack.
Holy cow. That's crazy.
Right here.
No, go back down to your Google Hangout. There you go. And then stop sharing. Okay. Oh. Oh, you got it. Okay. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Some fun. Go back to your
Dark Light Dreamer says all vocals. Yeah, Dark Light Dreamers. Well, not all vocals. You're also really good with the keyboard, Dark Light. Actually, some of my favorite stuff is yeah. So definitely vocals, but also you nail it on the keyboard. I'd like to, man. I hope we can get you another keyboard sometime in the future because you're so good at it. Running Bear says I took band in high school because I could sneak out and make it out during school time. Lol, I couldn't play. I could not play one damn thing. Still got a C. Don't know why. So you're one of those guys of the one time at band camp, huh? The only thing I know is the wheels of steel, says Brother Ian. I was a DJ for about a decade doing chopped and screwed music live. I don't know what chopped. You're my music expert.
I'm not sure that chopped and screwed.
Oh, is that like the term for like mixed stuff and DJs?
Yes. I don't know.
Hook us up with some of that knowledge, brother.
Yeah, man. Learn us.
I'm too damn old for this. And them telling me I was cheating. That's awesome. So Thomas used to take it to the young folk, chasing down guys in their 20s and 40s. and in his 40s. Dark Light says, true that, but I need so much practice with the keyboard. Yeah, I think it's for you like riding a bike, because every time that you. That's not stop sharing? Your song's
Are we still live? Yeah, still let me see screen share. Let me look and see what we have on here. Yeah, we're fine. Okay. Back. Baby, come back. You can put it on me. Is it our live stream here still? Or is that Saber Club? Oh. I'll just do this. Oh, that's demo. Let's see what we have that. Bear with us, guys.
Oh, I guess
Yeah,
They might be back.
yeah. There we go.
There you go. Okay, we just had to refresh the screen.
Yeah, it'll come up in just a second.
So I don't think you need that much practice. I think for you it's more like riding a bike because every time I see you go to someone's house that has a piano, boom, you're instantly you have about a minute or two of warm up and then you are back at it. Elwork says he's a true heathen. Yet may try again this summer. Several parks within an hour of me. I wish I knew of some kind of SCA activities that went on around here. Also, the ones that I have seen around here have kind of a heavy duty fee to participate, and I just
it's 6 gets old.
Yeah, and of course, just with my current commitments, family, Warhammer, I just don't have the funds to pay the heavy duty fees. But I guess it's all about allotting your hobby funds for picking something and doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
At this current time, I want to do YouTube and Warhammer. So
We're happy doing it right now.
all right. Well, guys, I really, 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 actually, really enjoyed this.
I wasn't expecting this at all.
Topics. So I'm thrilled that you guys came on and decided to chat with us. We just had one more person join as we go to listen.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
I'm glad you guys decided to drop in and chat with us. We had some amazing conversations.
Yeah, really, really good. I mean, seriously, I was basically saying, okay, Mythos, go ahead. We're gonna type in test, and I'm gonna show you something real quick. Let's see if we can get through this. Make sure everything works. Blah blah blah. And also, people started like, wait a minute, this is the whole conversation. We're talking.
And of course, shows like this only go that far because there's good conversation.
There is. It was a real just conversation, good talk amongst friends, man. It was really enjoyable.
And I'm going to share something with you guys. I honestly thought we weren't going to film tonight. I didn't get off work until almost 8 o'clock, and I'm like, the show's about to start in about 20 minutes.
Really
I'm still pissed off from work because, again, I was expecting to work until about 4 or 5, ended up working until almost 8, and it was a really stressful situation. So, and we weren't planning on filming at all. He came over with Dark Light. They really helped me decompress and de-stress. Support from my lovely Lily over there helped me decompress and de-stress. And when he was like, let me show you how to set this up, and I was, we were looking at what I needed to hit to start the stream and stuff like that. And he was like, you want to just go ahead and hit it? And I'm like, okay, I'm in a better place for it. I was not feeling the stream earlier.
Yeah, again, we were not even, we were just gonna just check and see, make sure it was gonna work, and then we could just cut it off. And then we saw 3 people were already on. Like, well, we can't just turn it off. And we got 3 people, so we started chatting, and now we got you guys on, and we had a really amazing conversation, man. I mean, the range of different topics, man, is just way out there, man. It was amazing. I loved it.
I think that's what I love so much about these live chats. It's like sitting in a room full of our friends, and just having a few drinks, few chats.
It's not a monologue. That's what's great about it. We're actually talking. Yeah, you guys are chatting, but we're still within the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Brother Meeks says there's an SCA group there in Portland that he sees down the street and think about seeing what's going on.
That's cool.
Dude, you go get involved. Please hook us up with some pics.
That'll be awesome, man. Yeah. I even told Mythos I'd probably like to get into, doing some.
Oh yeah, the next time
knuckle busting.
Next time we have a daytime hangout with the fam, we'll talk about doing some grilling, breaking out the kendo, maybe a couple of beers, because kendo and beer goes well together.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My God!
All right, guys, if you enjoyed our chat tonight, then grab up an axe and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. And I usually thank everyone in the chat. I don't know why I didn't do that tonight. Drop the comments down below. Brother Thomas, Hell Works by Hellchild, thanks for joining us. Brother Meeks, Ian, of course, Shameless Soul, thanks for being here, brother. Darklight Dreamer, my man.
Good to see you again, bro.
Pimpin', brother, good to see you.
Did you just say pimpin'?
Pimpin', my brother, but I'm not pimping my brother. That's different.
That would be creepy. He's for sale.
Apathetic Fish. Dude, YouTube painting tutorial legend.
Guys,
Apathetic Fish was in the chat.
Please, oh man, gotta go check them out.
There's some of the best painting tutorials on YouTube. So definitely check our brother out. I think we got everybody. Guys,
Yeah.
thanks for joining us in the chat tonight. Running Bear, of course, you know, brother Tim. That's what the beer is for, instant medication. See? Brother Tim knows what's up.
Yeah, it does.
Guys, I know everybody here in the chat is part of the pack here. We got Frost in a purple outfit with a big feather hat that fits
With a katana.
I think there's a character like that with
What?
a pimp with a katana.
Oh, that's awesome.
Is it one of the Guilty Gear games?
We need to find it. We
We're gonna have to.
We gotta find it.
Yeah, there's a game like that.
We have to post that.
I think it's,
You know what? If you find it, we got to make that as the thumbnail.
well, I think Capcom would sue us, but
Well, no, put your head on there. Don't forget that guy.
but I know everybody in the chat right now is part of our pack. But if you guys, anybody watching the
Tell your
archives
friends.
are not yet subscribed to the channel, then we would love to have you as part of the pack here on the Frost and Fist. So next time, guys.
Say Frosty. How do I turn this off?